WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Good morning, everyone. It is a wonderful, crispy, cold morning here in Greater Westfield.
It's minus 11 over at Westover.
It's officially, when you walk outside, you know, sometimes it's you know it's cold.
Yes.
This morning it was an official,
Yeah.
You wanted to turn around and go back inside and, you know.
And that's why I was delayed this morning, because I said it was a good thing to start the car and let it run a bit.
Yesterday I was heading up into Vermont, and I don't know if this is a thing or not. Next time we have a meteorologist on, we need to ask. When it's like 70 degrees, it's like 70 degrees everywhere.
Yes.
Right? You know, at my house, at your house, downtown. When it's like 10 below, well, it could be 6 below at my house, and then 12 below as I get a couple miles down the road, and then 9 below.
Well, remember, cold air goes down.
Okay.
So the lower the elevation, the more the cold air. So the Pioneer Valley is actually colder than the Berkshires right now.
Yeah, but I'm talking like my house to here. There might be a 20-foot shift. But you know, when I was going up to Vermont yesterday, I left here and it was 9 below. And by the time I got to the Vermont state line, it was 13 below.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, by the time I got to Brattleboro, or at least down in the curves in there, now it's 9 below again.
Well, you're going deeper into that Arctic low, too. You know what I mean? You're going further north into the Arctic low.
Yeah, but as I continued north, now it's 6 below, now it's 3 below.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not getting colder, it's getting warmer.
That's true. Well, yeah, but you could have been...
Less negative is warmer.
Yeah, I know that. But, I mean, it all depends on a lot of things. Like the Berkshires are actually warmer this morning because they have some wind. And the Valley does not.
Well, that mixes it up.
Yeah.
That goes back to my
It actually makes it warmer, though.
Yeah, that goes back to my old snowmaking days when, if you got a cloud cover, you knew it was going to be a warm night.
Yep.
But a morning like this morning where there's no clouds, dead calm. And
is the coldest it'll get.
And snow on the ground, in a greater area. Yeah, you know it's going to be a cold, cold night.
Yep.
Plus, an Arctic low doesn't hurt.
Yeah, no.
Spinning.
Just churning, pushing cold air down into your backyard.
So this morning is officially...
It's cold.
It's cold.
And there's no wind really in Westfield, but it's still... I walked out and my nose, starts to freeze automatically, and you feel like that feeling in your nose when it instantly freezes and you're breathing through your nose?
That going from the car to the front door isn't bad. as long as
I
you
got a
park
long
3
walk.
feet from the front door.
Yeah, I got a long walk.
Yeah, so it's not. It's all relative.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So enough about the cold. Everybody knows it.
But today, take a few minutes to warm up your car, get the oil moving through the engine. If you try to push your car without letting it warm up for at least 5 minutes this morning, you're going to have very cold oil, and that does bad things to your engine over the long term.
The car goes, ay.
Yeah, the car will fight back in 100,000 miles.
Well,
you won't get as much life out of it.
I had a car full of dirt yesterday. By the time I got back, running up and down. I was up in Burlington yesterday.
Yep.
So it was a nice long ride. It's pretty as all get out.
That's like a 5-hour haul, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
I've done that before.
Pretty as all get out. It's one of my favorite places to drive up through. By the time you get to 89 and everything, all the mountain peaks are covered.
Yeah,
it's pretty. And
I used to like to go up to White River Junction, that area, just the base of it, like a 2-hour drive, and then you make that left. Basically, you make a left on 89.
Well,
you go the rest of the way up.
Bare left. It goes diagonally, but yeah.
You make a left.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And coming back, my car's dirty. I go, okay, I'll hit the car wash on the way home. Car wash was frozen.
So which one?
What? I was coming in Route 20, so the one over by West Side.
Oh, because a lot of them have the doors on them now, so the doors close and open in the wintertime.
Yeah, that one the wind just blows right through. He had a cone right in the middle of the front. I go, oh, it's closed, and then I see him in there chipping ice off of the thing.
That'll do it.
This is we'll let this one go.
Yep.
So I'll try the car wash this morning.
The one on Franklin Street, I think, has the doors on it.
Yeah. Well, I got the one with the little barcode in my window, so and just wash it every day. And
oh, you go to the F.L. Roberts one?
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Barcode in the window.
Mm-hmm.
How much is that barcode in the window?
$19.99 for the base one.
Well, it used to be $16. Then they turned the 6 over. That kind of,
Well, the price of everything's going up.
Is that what it is?
Are we getting paid more? No.
I
get started on politics.
Everyone asks me that now. Every time I go, I don't want to go out in the field and see my guys anymore. They all, hey, are we getting a raise this year? I don't know. It's too cold to talk about that.
Send an email to the corporate vice president.
Yeah, that'll help. In our 8 o'clock hour, no, wait a minute, let me back up. In our 7 o'clock hour.
Yes, 8 o'clock back hour. Mark Auerbach might have an issue with that.
Yeah, we have our friend Peter Langmore stopping by. We're going to be talking about the final farmers market of the winter season. It's the winter market. It's indoors. Don't get nervous. It's indoors over at the Church of the Atonement on Court Street here in Westfield. That's going to be happening Saturday, February 9th. So don't forget to make a stop by there. Some wonderful winter goods will be for sale there.
I don't know if you noticed, but last week I played the last time that they were on, right before Christmas.
Ah, okay.
Well, I figured that would be an appropriate setup.
Okay, that would be.
Mm-hmm.
And in our for our JP's Golden Age of Radio, what are you thinking we want to do this morning, Mr. Coles?
I don't know. I'll pick out something. How about a little mystery? I haven't had mystery in a while. We've been a lot
something
of comedy.
Like The Chateau.
We could do that.
Yeah, let's see what you can pull up in there, and we'll bring that to bear shortly. That'll be in 6:30 in about 20 minutes or so. We like to mix things up here on our Friday morning show. In addition to the farmers market, Mr. Langmore is also involved with the Scottish Festival, so I think we can tease him into talking a little bit about that.
I'm sure they're knee-deep in planning that one, too.
They are, as a matter of fact. And sounds like there's a lot of good stuff there. The entertainment, I understand, it will be similar to last year, so if you liked what you saw last year, you'll be seeing more of that. What else is going on? We have plans for the summer starting to shape up, and actually I have I'm going to be sitting with the folks from Westfield on weekends this week, and we're going to be talking about our schedule for this summer and into the fall and into the winter season. So in the next week or two, you'll be hearing us talk about that. That should be fun. look forward to that. Artworks is also gearing up to put their schedule together, so it's going to be another year full of arts and entertainment and great fun. Of course, straight ahead we have in April 12th to be exact. Put that on your calendar. That's going to be a Chicago tribute band. Chicago great horde band of the 70s. If I think Saturday in the Park, Beginnings, just pull it up on your on iTunes or whatever. Chicago. You might not remember the names of all the songs, but you'll remember the sound. That's going to be a benefit for the Westfield Police Auxiliary happening on April 12th at the Westfield Technical Academy Auditorium. It should be a great, great show. Tickets are on sale now at purplepass.com and will be in the next week or so in over at Rockies. When you see the banners go up in front of Rockies, then you'll know. So that's tickets for Chicago, April 12th.
Ready for a break? It's early, but we could do a break. I got a Chicago song.
We can do a break,
up.
And when we come back from that break, we're going to be talking about the Silent Disco, a benefit for Amelia Park Children's Museum. That should be fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be fun.
This is JPEG Look at JP's Talk About Town. Pete Coles on the other side of the board. We'll be back right after this.
I do believe in you, and I know you believe in me.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wanted to know what Chicago sounded like? That was Chicago.
That's a pretty good representation.
It's one of my favorite Chicago tunes. But it was one that you know when you hear it that, oh yeah, straight out of the 70s, great song, but you're not quite sure who did it. Well, I know, but not everybody knows. But that's a classic sound, and that's one of my favorite songs.
That's what got me into the big horn section. Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago did, yeah. Any horns and rock and roll, man. It's
and believe it or not, so did to a certain extent Casey and the Sunshine Band. They always had a great horn section.
They did. That's absolutely true. Well, if you want to hear, Casey and the Sunshine Band is a good example. You want to hear songs like that, and you want to dance to them, and you want to do it with headphones on with all of your closest friends in one room, well, you can do that. Silent Disco is coming to the Shortstop, a benefit for the Amelia Park Children's Museum, Saturday, February 9th. There's going to be two sessions, one in the afternoon at 2 o'clock for the more family-oriented, and then one at the evening for, everybody else. So it should be a great time. No tickets needed in advance, but you can buy tickets at the door. Find out more at Westfield, Amelia Park Children's Museum.org.
Yep.
Sorry, I got tongue-tied there this morning.
Yep.
And it should be a lot of fun. Saturday, February, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
And just to let you know, the DJs have a competition going.
A week from tomorrow.
Yes, a week from tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow? Yeah, a week from tomorrow.
Yes.
Whatever February 9th is. What do you mean we're having a competition?
Absolutely, man. We want to see how many lights we can get. See how many of our color.
So we're going to need a light counter?
We're going to see how many of our color out there on the floor.
So to give you an idea of what this is all about, if you've never heard of silent disco before, you walk in and you essentially pay to get in, and you get handed a pair of headphones.
Yes.
And that headphones is what you wear to listen to the music. Now, you'll have a choice of 3 different programs to listen to. So if you don't like the song that's playing, hit the button on the headphones. It'll switch to the next program channel. Mm-hmm. And so it's either going to be, what are the 3 categories we have?
So Ken Stomsky is doing 60s, 70s, and disco.
Yeah.
I am doing 80s, 90s today.
Well, what am I doing?
And you are doing country and rock and roll, which
country and classic rock,
which are pretty much the same thing nowadays. Modern country pop is classic rock and roll, man.
It is.
It is what it is. So
I may stray from
we may stray a little bit outside of the lines.
It's going to be a great night. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm also going to bring a few little lighting toys down. So we'll give you the feel of
a few little lighting toys runs into like tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, it does not.
Sure, it does.
It does not. You're putting too many zeros in there.
Don't tell your wife.
Tens of dollars. So, but we'll bring some lights down.
You bringing the movable ones?
We'll give you the mood of a classic disco. Some moving lights, flashing stuff, and haze in the air, and it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that.
It is. It's going to be interesting, and I'm psyched about it because I don't have to lug all of my gear down there.
No, you're going to come in and help me lug my stuff in.
No PA gear. It's just set up and go.
Yeah, that's what we hope.
So we're gonna each have our own table of like our. Are they gonna put a color banner in front of us?
We'll just be down in the front of the, down the end of the room, and we'll figure it out. I'm not sure how she wants to have it set up. Diana McLean is kind of spearheading this whole thing.
Diana, you got to get tablecloths with each of our colors, so we can put them on the table, so people know who's DJ is who.
Big pick me. So,
no, not that far. Just subtle.
Subtle.
I'm working on some liners this week for my channel.
Liners?
I'm green, right?
I don't know what color you are.
Well, I'm going to do liners.
What did you eat this morning? You're green. You
don't
look green from here.
I want to do custom liners for the green channel.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to be green. I've
So
already
what do we
working on
win
it.
if there's more people out there with green on their headphones? And you can see, by the way, when you change the channel, your headphones light up with a different color, so you can see who's listening to the same music you are.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
Yes.
But here's the best thing, and I don't know if this will happen. It tends to happen automatically, or spend. What's the word I want? I want to say spastically, but that's
instant
not
gratification.
No, it happens on its own,
spontaneously.
That's the word.
Yes, that's the word.
But people will start singing to the song that they're listening and dancing to.
Right.
So you'll walk into a room full of people dancing and singing at the top of their lungs, generally pretty badly, and you can't hear the music. So it's really kind of freaky. But it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
First time we've done this in Westfield, so come check that out. Silent disco happening at the Shortstop on Saturday, February.
Put on your headphones. I want to play a song that everybody's going to sing to. They can't resist.
Okay, go ahead.
You know they will. You know what the song is? That's it. That's within my realm, too.
I don't want to say I like it, but I know it.
It's a catchy tune.
Yeah, well, there's so many things, and that's it. Yeah, catchy tunes. Don't Stop Believin' is another one they'll sing at the top of their lungs. But
that's Kenny, though. Isn't that 70s?
Don't Stop is 80s.
No, it's 80s, so that's within my realm.
Yeah. So like you say, we've got the three channels, but we may stray. Please don't hold us to.
Yeah, we're doing general genres.
Yeah. I know somebody will come up to me and go, "That's not country and rock." You say, well, okay, fine. Switch to a different channel. So.
You know what? It's all going to be good music, and the fact is you'll have 3 different choices simultaneously, and it's all live DJing. So it's not, and there's no canned channels, there's no satellite stuff. It's going to be the 3 people sitting in front of you that are actually DJing.
All right, for the record, I'm going to be focusing on lighting. So
yes, I know. Well, you're going to, but you can change up stuff if you're looking around. You can change up stuff on the fly.
If you'd like to request things, we will do our very best to bring them online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want a copy of my hard drive before you start, or are you good? Okay.
This is JPEG Luca. That's Mr. Pete Coles on the other side of the board. This is JP's Talk About Town. On the other side of the break, we have JP's Golden Age of Radio that we do every Friday here. And this week, a little mystery for you. The Shadow. Coming up right after this.
I don't want you to misunderstand me. I just want to say what's on my mind. No need to hit me with an attitude, because I haven't got the time. I want you to know one thing is certain. I should love you 'cause
our underwriters here at WSKB's Community Radio is Carson Center for Health and Human Services, a nonprofit organization located at 20 Broad Street in Westfield. They provided behavioral health and rehabilitation services in communities throughout Western Massachusetts since 1963. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, families, and couples. You can find them on the web at carsoncenter.org or at 413-572-4132.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. Ken's Den, Tuesday, 8 to 10. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning. This is JPEG Luca, JP's Talk About Town, and I just realized I deleted the email that I had all that information on, so now I have nothing to talk about.
Oops.
No, not a problem. Next up, we have JP's Golden Age of Radio, and an episode called
Murder with Music
of The Shadow
from February 3rd, 1946.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
Once again, the Grove Laboratories brings you the thrilling adventures of the Shadow, the hard and relentless fight of one man against the forces of evil. These dramatizations are designed to demonstrate forcibly to old and young alike that crime does not pay. When you're suffering from acute nervousness, extreme fatigue, that run-down feeling and lowered resistance toward cold, see your doctor. He may decide that your ailments are caused by acute deficiency of vitamins in your diet. To relieve your distress, he may prescribe multiple vitamins in more than minimum daily doses. Possibly your doctor is just out of the Army, where he learned all about Grove Defender multiple vitamins, used by the Army by the millions of capsules. He knows that 2 Defender a day will help prevent the dietary vitamin deficiencies that drag you down. Then, be sure to supplement your diet with 2 Defender every day. More if your doctor advises. Defender Multiple Vitamins, distributed by the Grove Laboratories, now available at your druggist. Now, The Shadow.
Is in reality Lamont Cranston, wealthy young man about town. Years ago in the Orient, Cranston learned a strange and mysterious secret. The hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so they cannot see him. Cranston's friend and companion, the lovely Margot Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the voice of the invisible shadow belongs. Today's drama, Murder with Music.
Why are you just standing there staring at me? Why don't you say something? No! Don't come near me! You wouldn't hit me. You wouldn't hit me. Oh, my face! Why? Why are you... Stop! Stop, for the love of heaven, don't hit me! Oh, no! Please! No! Get away from me! Stay away! No! Stop! Don't! Oh, yes! No! No! He does play well, doesn't he, Lamont?
I suppose so, Margot. Getting late, isn't he, everyone? Huh?
Oh, darling. Mrs. Hamilton has planned this recital for weeks. Edward Miranda's a protege. Now, we must be polite.
Why? Just because she's in the social register and has a mansion uptown?
Mrs. Hamilton is a patron of the arts. This Edward Milan is the latest discovery. She's put him up here at her home. She's given him the finest teacher. She's completely responsible for his success.
If you ask me, the old gal's probably just got a crush on that young pianist.
Now, you wait. It's his music, darling. He sponsored artist fees. Quite nice.
Well, that's over. Oh, it's past 11. Let's say thanks and good night and get out of here before the darlings and you played so divinely start.
Darling!
Too late.
Miss Lane, how charming to see you again.
Hello, how are you? Lamont, you know Oliver Viceroy, the society columnist.
Of course.
Of course, everybody knows me, Miss Lane. Harriet's got a real find in Edward Milan, don't you think? Trying to make him a big star.
He's quite young, isn't he?
The aesthetic type, you know. Hope Harriet doesn't push him too hard. But you know Harriet Hamilton, once she sets her mind to a thing.
Well, she certainly got some of the most influential people up here to hear his first recital.
Oh, Harriet can do anything.
Oh, by the way, have you seen Jennifer Gay around?
No, I haven't seen Jen.
Well, she's a friend of yours and, Mrs. Hamilton, isn't she?
The truth is, Mr. Viceroy, I made Miss Lane promise to introduce me to Miss Jennifer Gay. I was anxious to meet the famous actress.
No, I don't think you're likely to see her here tonight. But, Tessa, I must make the round.
That old fluff. The day I see him without that silly blue cornflower boutonniere, I give him a big red apple.
Now,
Right?
Lamont, stop it. That's a trademark. You know, best dressed man in town.
Let's get out of here, Margot.
Oh, you played so divine.
Spoiled again.
Didn't he play divinely, Miss Lane, Mr. Cranston? Yes, he did. This is my protege, Edward Milan.
How do you do?
How do you do,
How do
Mr.
you do?
Milan? We did enjoy your playing very much.
Thank you, Aunt. Really, Harriet, I'd like to be excused, if I may.
Oh, just a few more introductions, Edward. Recitals upset Edward dreadfully. It's the first time he's played before so many well-known people.
By the way, Mrs. Hamilton, is Jennifer Gay around? I'd like to meet her. I've enjoyed her plays so much.
Jennifer Gay? No, she's not around, Mr. Cranston. As a matter of fact, she wasn't invited. She won't be here tonight. What's that?
Sounds like someone rapping on the French door.
There is someone standing outside there.
It's a girl.
And there's something wrong with her. Look.
Harriet, look. She's falling against the glass. What is it? Stand aside, everybody.
Oh, my, she's bleeding terribly.
Jennifer! Keep away from Mr. Viceroy. No, let me help her. Jennifer, my darling. Harriet, it is Jennifer.
Oh, don't look, Edward. Come on, we've got to do something to help her.
It's too late, Margot. She's dead.
Oh, what?
Been brutally beaten. I'm afraid this is murder. Now, quiet, please, everybody. Just stay right here in the living room. The police will be here in a minute.
Oh, but it's something murder, Mr. Cranston, here in my home.
I'm afraid it is, Mrs. Hamilton. People don't commit suicide that way.
Jennifer murdered this way.
Now, please try to control yourself, Mr. Viceroy.
Who could have killed him, murdered her so brutally this way?
Oh, it couldn't have been any of my guests, Mr. Cranston. We were all in this room when Jennifer was killed. You, Lane, had chairs right by the door. You'd have seen if anyone had slipped out.
Yes, that's true.
Hello, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
Lamont, that's Brad Bartholomew, isn't it? Oversized.
So I see. Bobby Beautiful himself.
What's wrong, Harriet? I don't think it was a party. You all look as though you'd seen a ghost.
Not a ghost, Mr. Bartholomew. A body.
Huh?
Jennifer Gay's dead body is under that robe.
Well, not Jennifer.
You know her, Mr. Bartholomew?
Well, certainly I know her. She's one of my best friends. I wouldn't exactly say friends, Mr. Bartholomew. Oh, you here too, Papa Viceroy?
Where were you all evening, Mr. Bartholomew, if you were invited here?
I was having a few drinks at the Penguin Club after dinner. I didn't realize it was so late.
Oh, I see.
Oh, Mr. Cranston, can't my guests leave now? We were all in this room at the time.
Yes, please, Mr. Cranston.
I'm afraid that will have to be for the police to say. They should be here any minute now. Mr. Bartholomew, would you step over here a minute?
Well, yes, of course.
It's been a terrible thing, hasn't it?
Yes, it certainly has.
Particularly since you were such a good friend of Jennifer Gay.
Well, actually, I just met Jen since I came east. We were really only acquaintances.
I see. Now, I've admired those strong, silent roles you play in the movies, Mr. Bartholomew. They really give you some rugged parts to play.
Well, thanks, Cranston. Yes, I really have to keep in trim for pictures.
Of course. You say you were at the Penguin Club all evening?
Yes, I was. Say, are you trying to pump me, Cranston? I've heard you're mixed up in some kind of amateur criminology.
Not at all.
Well, don't then. When the police get here, they can check my alibi. I was at the Penguin Club all evening. Mr. Jenkins, the owner, will verify that. He's a close friend of mine.
I imagine he is. Well, thanks, Mr. Bartholomew. It was nice having the opportunity to get to know you better.
You know, Lamont, I'm amazed the police let everybody go.
Well, they really have nothing to hold them on yet, Margot. Of course, they're all well-known names.
Yeah, it's true. How did you make out with the Greek god, Brad Bartholomew? You two seem to be having quite a chat.
So far, Bartholomew seems to be the only suspect with the strength to commit that brutal murder, and also the motive.
Motive?
Jealousy, darling. According to the society columns, he and Jennifer were having a pretty hectic romance.
Yes, but how could Brad have done it? He was supposed to be at the Penguin Club all evening.
Yes, I know. When Brad left this evening, I happened to notice him pick up a pair of men's gloves from the hall table.
Well, darling, they were probably his own.
I'm sure they were. I also noticed that those same gloves were on the hall table when we first came in.
Oh, you think he was there before the recital, attacked Jennifer in the garden, say, and then made a grand entrance to establish his alibi?
An alibi that might have been framed. Though I know, darling, the police checked with the Penguin Club before they left. But by Bartholomew's own admission, he is a close friend of Mr. Jenkins, the owner of the club. I think the Shadow had better pay a little call on Mr. Jenkins and double-check that airtight alibi.
Okay, boys, close up and you can all go. I'm going over the books for a while.
There's something else we must go over first, Mr. Jenkins.
Who's that? There's nobody in this office.
The Shadow is here to pay you a call, Mr. Jenkins.
Shadow. Who are you? What do you want?
The truth. A man's life is at stake.
A man's life?
Brad Bartholomew. Why did you say he was here in your club with you all evening? Why did you instruct your help to tell the same lie if anyone questioned?
Oh, Brad's a friend of mine. He asked me to say that. I didn't want to see him get in any trouble with that Jennifer Gay.
Jennifer Gay? What trouble, Mr. Jenkins?
Well, he's been trying to ditch her. He's got another girl. He was with that girl when he left here right after dinner tonight.
If Bartholomew wasn't here at your club, where was he? Where did he go?
I don't know, I swear. I wouldn't have lied about him being here if I'd thought I was going to get in any trouble.
You're in plenty of trouble, Jenkins. If Brad Bartholomew is the murderer, you've made yourself an accomplice. And you'll pay for that stupid lie.
Really, Lamont, you're going to get into trouble sometime. Barging into Mr. Bartholomew's hotel 3 to 3 in the morning. His fellow told you he wasn't in.
Well, I wanted to make sure. Can't believe anybody when you're on the trail of a killer, Margot.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Jenkins. I've never found out what I know now.
Do you really think Bartholomew's the killer?
Well, it looks now as if Brad Bartholomew deliberately faked an alibi so he could kill Jennifer.
No, it is odd, isn't it? Bartholomew's valet, they hadn't seen him since he went down to the hotel storage room to open up one of his trunks.
Funny time of night for that sort of thing. Unless he was getting some clothes out for a quick getaway. Margot, we're going to slip down into the basement into that storage room.
Well, darling, if he is down there, and he is the killer. Our lives won't be worth 2 cents.
We'll have to take that chance, darling. Come on. Take my hand, Margot. These stairs are pretty steep.
It may be a trap, Lamont. You know you're on his trail. You may just want us to come down
Watch
to the
it.
room.
There, that's the last fix.
Well, there's nobody down here at this hour. Hurry. And the place is pitch dark, too.
God, I can't find the light.
Here. Take my light.
Oh, thanks. Oh, it helps some.
Look at all those dusty old trunks. I wonder maybe hiding behind those.
Yes, and he had skipped town,
Oh,
too.
come on, let's go back upstairs. You know how strong the killer must be. He could beat us like he beat Jennifer. He could snap our necks so he killed her and...
Behind me, quiet.
What was that?
Sounded like something moved over there.
Look at that trunk. It's got Bartholomew's name on it.
Trunk's right up against this closet door. Yeah, I'll pull it away. See if it's locked.
Wait, I have.
Margot, look out. That closet door's opening. There's something in there.
What?
Back, Margot, quick. It's coming out.
It's alive! Come on, it's got me!
Well, here it is, winter again. And for lots of you, that means the common cold, with all its usual miseries. Now, for 51 years, millions of cold sufferers have known just what to do. They've turned to Grove cold tablets for comforting relief, fast. Maybe you didn't know that Grove cold tablets get right down inside and work internally to give relief from all these usual miseries of a cold at once. Relief number 1, help reduce fever. Relief number 2, ease your headache. Relief number 3, alleviate body ache. Relief number 4, reduce nasal stuffiness. Relief number 5, lessen muscular pain. Grove cold tablets can do all this because they're a multiple medicine, compounded like a doctor's prescription. Yes, a combination of 8 active medical ingredients specifically for your cold relief. Now remember to rest and avoid exposure. Get Grove cold tablets and take exactly as directed. Look for the name Grove. Grove. Grove cold tablets for relief of cold miseries. Now, back to the shadow.
Lamont Cranston and Margot Lane, on the trail of a brutal killer, stumbled on something hidden in the closet of a hotel basement storage room.
What was it, Lamont? What was it that grabbed me?
Corpse, Margot.
Oh.
Elegant Jimmy pushed that trunk away from the closet door.
Dead body.
Brad Bartholomew's body, Margot.
What?
The neck broken, the head nearly yanked off.
Oh, Lamont, I...
Brad Bartholomew killed the same way Jennifer Gay was killed this afternoon by someone with the strength of a giant.
Oh, it's horrible, Lamont. I want to get out of here.
Wait.
What?
Something on his coat, Margot. 2 tiny petals of blue cornflower.
Oliver Viceroy.
He must have seen Bartholomew tonight.
But how could Viceroy have killed Bartholomew this way? Viceroy is not a young man and certainly not the strong girl type.
Maybe Viceroy didn't kill him. He could have hired some thug, brought him along to do his killing for him.
Why?
Revenge for Jennifer's death. Viceroy's always been in love with her.
You think Bartholomew killed Jennifer this evening and then Viceroy had him killed for revenge?
What more perfect revenge could he have than to see Bartholomew die in the same brutal way he'd used to kill Jennifer? Let's go, Margot.
You're going to Oliver Viceroy?
Alone. Right now. As the shadow.
Now, let's see. The revolver lies beside me on my desk here in my room as I write this, my last column. The famous society matron will shed no tears over my suicide. Even now, she sheds no tears over the murder of the beautiful actress. I name no one as guilty, but I know that a woman's jealousy and hate did kill Jennifer Gay. That is my betrayal. Now the gun. What? Who's that?
The shadow has your gun now, Oliver Viceroy.
The shadow? Oh, where are you? What's happened here?
Why did you kill Brad Bartholomew?
That Bartholomew? He's been murdered too?
Yes, Oliver Viceroy, beaten, his neck broken like Jennifer Gay. You hired someone to kill him.
No, I didn't. I swear I didn't.
And why were petals from your boutonniere found on the lapel of his coat?
Petals? My blue flower? It's a trick. Someone deliberately planted them there.
You wanted Brad killed for revenge. You believed he killed Jennifer.
No. I know that he didn't. Brad didn't kill Jennifer, but I know who did.
Yes? Who?
Harriet Hamilton. She hated Jennifer because Jennifer was trying to steal Edward Milan, her protege, from her.
You have proof?
I have. This letter. Listen. Dear Oliver, you are the only person I know who has influence over Jennifer Gay. She's trying to take Edward from me. Keep her away. I'll kill her if she dares interfere. Find Harriet Hamilton.
Why have you hidden this evidence? Why didn't you go to the police with it?
Harriet helped me, too, to get started. But I feel no gratitude now for that woman. She planted my flowers so the police would suspect me of Brad's murder.
You're naming her to save your own life.
Why would I lie when I was about to kill myself? You saw Shadow. You saved me from suicide. But I have a reason for living now. To see her hanged.
I'll take that letter, Viceroy. The Shadow has all the information he needs now. You can rest assured that the real murderer will be brought to justice.
Take those corners like that. You'll get arrested.
No one in the streets at this time of the morning.
Do you think Harriet Hamilton might try to get away?
You must know that Bartholomew's disappearance can't go undiscovered very long.
But if she did kill Jennifer, why would she also kill Bartholomew?
If she had to. If Brad was at her house before the recital, he probably witnessed the murder.
I can't see how a woman like Harriet Hamilton could be a vicious, cruel killer.
Well, we'll know that when we get there, Margot, if we're not too late.
Edward, darling.
Yes, Harry?
Sitting alone in this dark room, playing by the light of a candle. If someone heard you at this hour, they might think it's very odd.
I'm too nervous to sleep, Harry. I've got...
You've got nothing to be nervous about, Edward.
Nothing? So what happened here in this house this evening, did you say that?
Stop playing, Edward.
Playing is the only thing that helps me now.
You heard me, Edward. Stop playing. Stop it, I said! That's right, Edward.
Harriet.
You're not frightened of me, are you, Edward? Why, I'm the one who gives you strength. I'll make you great.
I know, Harriet.
I've always taken care of you. I'm very fond of you, Edward.
I couldn't get along without you. You've given me everything. But this tonight, this awful thing, Jennifer and Brad. What if the police find out?
Edward.
They're dead, aren't they?
Edward.
They're dead. You struck me.
Acting like a hysterical child. Sounded like someone coming up the drive.
There's a car just drove up.
One of the neighbors?
At 4:30 in the morning. No, Harriet. It's the police.
Oh, no, they couldn't have found out.
Tell them the truth, Harriet. Tell them everything.
Listen to me, Edward. I've made plans for this. You're running away.
No, they catch you.
I've believed you already packed in one for me, too. I've hidden them in the second floor room in the garage above the car.
Harriet, I'm afraid.
You get away then. Come with me now.
I can't, Harriet. I'm afraid.
You can. You must, Edward.
Let me go.
No. Come to the garage. Quick. You're coming with me. You take the light here on the second floor of the garage. Stay here for a moment while they search the house.
I can't go on. I can't, Harriet. Tell the police the truth. I'll tell them the truth.
All right. You fool, tell them. You'll hang. I won't.
I'll.
Of course you will. But it was worth it, wasn't it? I've always wanted Jennifer out of the way. I'm glad she's dead. Brad, too, had to be killed. I didn't even know he was in the house until I saw him looking out, watching you kill Jennifer.
You wanted them killed. I'll hang.
Jennifer was after you for herself. She would have taken you from me.
You didn't kill me, boy. You told me lies. Jennifer was laughing at us. You made me hate her until I killed her in a blind rage.
Yes, but no one would suspect you, Edward. You're so weak and so dependent. No one would dream of the great strength that lies in those two hands of yours.
Yeah,
My true strong hands I exercised and developed to make beautiful music. You urged me on so they bring pain and death. You made me kill for your own selfish purpose.
Listen. They're down below now. We've got to get out of here somehow. The window.
You're not going anywhere, Harry.
Edward, why are you locking that door?
We're trapped, Harry. You know it. You don't care because you're not the murderer.
They won't take you, Edward. You could do something. Let them neck is the chose.
No, Harry. It's your neck I'm after this
No.
time.
No.
Yes, look at these powerful hands, Harry. The hands that beat Jennifer and Brad to a pulp.
Edward, you wouldn't let me.
I'm going to show you how I killed Jennifer.
No.
First one blow on her face, like this. She got up herself, just like that. I smashed down with another. And another.
Stop.
Now, Harriet, this is how Jennifer felt when I grabbed her throat and choked.
What's that? The one who got no gun and the killer's in there, please.
Try to save that woman. Break through this door. Well, I did it. You said what?
Lamont, keep away from him. He's the killer. Please, Lamont, stay away from him.
All right, Milan. Why you're coming with me. No, you don't. I've got him. Phone the police, Margot. He's not going to give us any more trouble now. Well, they've got Edward Milan locked up. He confessed everything, Margot.
So he did kill Jennifer and Brad.
Yes. But Harriet Hamilton was the mind and force behind those murders, Margot. She told him she could never be happy or help him with his career as long as Jennifer lived.
And she persuaded him to kill Bartholomew to cover that murder?
Yes. Jennifer came out early before the recital. Edward killed her in a fit of rage and left her for dead. But she managed to revive long enough to crash through those French doors.
Then Bartholomew must have followed Jennifer out and witnessed the murder. That's why he drugged her in that room. But Darius, why didn't he go right to the police?
He's afraid of being involved in a murder that might ruin his screen career. Besides, they did get rid of Jennifer for him at the most convenient time.
Oh. What about Viceroy's blue cornflower petals?
Mrs. Hamilton planted those on Brad's body just as Viceroy claimed she had.
Well, darling, I still get weak every time I think of you facing that brutal killer. How on earth did you subdue him?
I nearly didn't, Margot. I felt the terrific strength in those two hands. And then suddenly, when he looked down at Mrs. Hamilton's dead body, a strange thing happened. Strength seemed to leave him. It was as if all the power Edward Milan possessed left him the moment he realized he'd murdered Harriet Hamilton, the one person who had made him strong.
Here's good advice for cold sufferers. When a cold is working on you and you're in for real misery, turn to Grove for quick relief. Get Grove cold tablets, more widely used for cold relief than any other cold tablet in the world. They get right down inside and work internally to give you relief. Grove cold tablets are of multiple medicines, compounded like a doctor's prescription. A combination of many active medical ingredients. Work on all these usual cold miseries. Relieve headaches, help reduce fever, alleviate body aches and pains, reduce nasal stuffiness. Get Grove cold tablets. Take exactly as directed. Rest and avoid exposure. Accept only the box with the Grove signature. Look for the name Grove. Grove cold tablets.
Shadow program is based on a story copyrighted by Street and Smith Publications. Characters, names, places, and plots are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Again, next week, the Shadow will demonstrate that
the weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Good morning, and this is JPEG Luca with JP's Talk About Town. We hope you enjoyed JP's Golden Age of Radio and our episode of The Shadow. Oh, sorry. So, hey, it's morning. I'm watching the sun just below the horizon out there. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful sunrise. So if you're interested in getting out and freezing, go look at the sunrise.
That's not nice.
What? All right, so you can stay in your warm house and look out the window and look to the east. That would still work. So what's going on this morning, Mr. Coles? What do you have planned in your wonderful day?
Today's a day where I have to learn how to pay bills for the city.
Oh,
my bills. I'm learning the purchasing process. Which is not as fun as it sounds.
No, it's not fun when I got to pay my own bills.
Right. But there's a process, so I'm learning the process, and I want to make sure I do it right, so I'm taking it easy and slow, and it takes time. As I get more and more into it, I'll probably get easier and better.
That's the hardest part, is learning a new system. And I think learning anything new, anything change, and maybe it's just because I'm old, but I don't. Well, people in general don't like change. You know, this is the way I've always done it, and I'm not going to change. And I'm resistant to learning to pay bills online. I like writing a check. I like knowing it's going to go out there. And
I haven't written a check in God knows how many years.
Yeah, maybe some would call it old-fashioned. I don't know, but it's just, not my style. At some point, I'm going to do it. I've tried to learn to do that.
Yeah,
it's been tough. Hey, in our 8 o'clock hour, Mark Auerbach is going to be visiting. So, good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Jay.
What are you going to get on your agenda for the morning?
Well, we've got two guests. First is Alan Burrows, who's the artistic director of Shakespeare and Company in Lenox. And he's going to talk about their new season. And I've never had anybody from Shakespeare and Company on the program before, so I've got lots of questions. And the second half hour is Maestro Kevin Rhodes from the Springfield Symphony. He's back from Vienna. The symphony performs this weekend at Symphony Hall. They do a program of women's composers. And Maestro Rhodes will tell us all about his fall in Vienna.
That sounds great. Now, you're involved in the big broadcast.
I sure am.
Tell us a little. That's just about a month away. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's actually a month from Saturday. Hard to believe.
Where'd the winner go?
Where did the winner go? But it's a recreation of a 1940s radio broadcast. And a couple of interesting things. 80 years ago, in 1939, there was a senior prom at Mount Holyoke in Chapin Auditorium, and the Glenn Miller Orchestra performed, and it was before they were famous. So one of the things the big broadcast is going to do this year is do some music of Glenn Miller.
Oh, that's
and
great.
It's the 20th anniversary of the jazz ensembles at Mount Holyoke, so some of the alumni are coming back, including this phenomenal fiddler, Zoe Darrow, who is from Blandford, Massachusetts, and she graduated Mount Holyoke, I believe, in 2011, and has done quite well as a fiddler. And she's going to come back and perform 2 songs that were written for fiddle and big band in the early 40s.
Well, that sounds like fun. Yeah, for those that have never been out to the big broadcast, where can they find out more or even get tickets?
A big broadcast will be on Saturday, March 2nd at Chapin Auditorium. Matinee at 2, evening performance at 7:30, and tickets are available at the Odyssey Bookshop in South Hadley, at Village Commons, and also at the UMass Fine Arts Center.
And there should be some at the door, too.
There definitely will be tickets at the door for both shows.
Great. Something along the same lines, and thank you. I would look forward to that. I really do. I will be out there.
We'll have to get you to show up this year.
Yeah. Well, I gotta put that on my calendar first, and I have. So I will be. I've got the day open, so I'll be there.
Terrific.
All right. Thank you, Mark. And if you aren't able to make that show up at Mount Holyoke, we're going to have our own little radio show. We're doing some trying to put the final details on that with our own Michael Buster McMahon.
Oh, we are doing that.
We are doing that at the end of
I know it's been kind
March.
of fits and starts and things like that. So
well, yeah, we're trying to put the final details together. But the end of March, it looks like the last week of March, we're going to have our own little.
Ooh, I might be away. You may have to do all the work then.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
that might be my Babe Ruth trip to Florida to wire some fields.
Okay. That's
fine.
Yeah. We can do it without you.
I know you can.
In fact, we look forward to it.
Perfect. So, peace out. All right, Pete, I'm going home. Jay can finish out the show. Bye.
See how quick he bails on me? Yeah.
I got other things I can do for an hour.
Yeah. Next up on our show, wandering into the studio. Speaking of Blandford, and you know Zoe Darrell.
Just pull that microphone right over to you.
Zoe actually grew up down the street from me. Her parents still live there.
That's the voice of Peter Langmore.
Yes.
Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
So you knew Zoe and her parents, and
she was one of the first players that we had at the Glasgow Land Scottish Festival when it was in Blandford, when it started in Blandford.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking a little bit about the Scottish Festival later. You know how much I love that, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. But you wanted to talk about, let's talk about you for a minute. What is it that keeps you so involved in so many things, other than just being retired and all kinds of time on your hands?
Because I enjoy volunteering.
That's great.
More people should do that, you know.
I can't agree with you more.
Yes.
And you got involved with the Church of the Atonement and the farmers market there a few years ago. And how long have you been with them doing that?
Since we started 4 years, I believe it was.
And you took that over from
the Business Improvement District.
That's right, yeah.
They were on the lawn of the church, and they didn't exist anymore.
Right.
And so the rector one Sunday or one time said, well,
what if
we have these people on the lawn, this farm. Does anybody want to take over? So I raised my hand. And we actually grew that from 5 vendors to we've had up to 30 vendors in the summer.
That's incredible. And I love that you have got music under the big tree there.
Yep.
That's going to happen again this year?
Absolutely. The same thing. We have music, which is sponsored by the Westfield Cultural Council.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll have 3 musicians or groups each day, each Thursday. Be Thursdays, May, last Thursday in May through first Thursday or so in October.
Now, that's the summer version. You actually, as I understand it, have one more winter version coming up. And that's
right.
going to be Saturday, February 9th.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about that and why it's different from the summer one.
Well, first of all, it's inside.
Good. I was hoping you'd say that.
Since it was -9 when I came in here this morning.
It's going to be warmer but on the 9th.
Yes.
I'm told it might be above zero, so that would be a good thing. But still, it is indoors.
Yeah. And I guess one of the big differences, you might say, is that there are probably more, not probably, there are more craft vendors than there are in the summer because there aren't a lot of produce. There isn't a lot of produce in the wintertime. And, I mean, certainly we have Pignataires Farm, and they'll have produce. We have a woman, Mayval, who has cheese and beef and things like that, but and some bread makers, and I can go over them more detail later if that's okay with you.
I remember going to the last one, and I mean the looks, the sounds, the smells, and it was really cool. They're actually baking stuff downstairs, right? Somebody's down there cooking something.
Yes.
And so I walk downstairs and instantly get hungry.
We have two fresh bread. One is artisan bread, artesian bread. No, and then excuse me, Bee's Breads. Bee's Breads makes some delicious cheese bread and cinnamon swirl.
That was it. The cinnamon is what
that's what you smell.
Came wandering over.
Yeah, well, they do that on purpose. They heat it up and they give you samples, so it just kind of gives a nice aroma to the whole place.
Now, music. You got music for this
yes.
for this one as well on the 9th.
We do. We have two musicians each playing? And Linda O'Neill, Rua Bean, and and
that's okay.
One
it's
other
okay
one.
if you can't say you can't remember. Is there a website that this information is on?
There
and
is.
People
It's
can find
Farmers
out more?
Market at atonementwestfield.net.
Okay. Well, I know we just kind of wandered you in and started.
No, that's
hammering you
wrong.
with
It's
questioning.
westfieldfarmersmarket.net. That other one is the email. I hate these things.
Search on Westfield Farmers Market.
Westfieldfarmersmarket.net. You know, interestingly enough, if you type Westfield Farmers Market, we've had people call up and want to be a vendor from New Jersey.
That's because there's a Westfield, New Jersey.
Yes.
And I don't know why people get that confused with Massachusetts. Not even close to being this. That can't be as wonderful as Westfield, Massachusetts.
Absolutely not.
This is J-Peg Luca with JP's Talk About Town. Peter Langmore is my guest here this morning. We're going to be coming back and talking a little bit more about the winter market, the final winter's market on February 9th, on Saturday. And we'll be back right after this.
Did you...
programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at Xfinity.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
And this is JPEG Luca with JP's Talk About Town. We are here for another Friday morning, a beautiful Friday morning. The sun's up, and you'd think it would be warm, but not in February. Oh, what's today? Today's February 1st, which means tomorrow we're going to find out if we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter. I love Groundhog's Day. What did I see a weather guy yesterday go, I hate Groundhog's Day. So that's going to we're going to find out how things are going. I'm here with Pete Langmore of Blandford and of the what is it you do here?
Where?
Now I'm doing.
Are you just blanking out, Jay?
Yeah,
I'm here. Where's your brain? I'm here to talk about the Westfield Farmers Market coming up on February 9th. Saturday,
February 9th. Yeah, that's it's the indoor market, the one that's not on the front lawn of the Church of the Atonement.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be a little tough with all that snow, Jay.
Well, I don't know. They say it's going to be 50 degrees, in the coming week.
That won't get rid of the snow, Jay.
No, by the time
you're a ski guy, and you're saying, never mind.
No, you know what it is, and I've got to admit it. I'm getting old. I still do love snow. There is nothing more beautiful. So come out to the farmers market is at the Church of the Atonement on Court Street in Westfield, and it's been going on for 4 years. You've been doing it.
Yes, we've been. Yes,
and so it's more crafts than foods this time around.
Well, actually, in the press release, I put craft and farm and craft market.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, because first of all, in Thanksgiving and Christmas we had the other two markets, so that would bring itself, for gifts. But we have 25 vendors. That's a huge number, and we use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms in the church.
Well, my first thought is, will I find something for Valentine's Day for my wife?
I would think so. Yes.
Good. I'll be there. I got to get me off the hook then.
Because we'll have, there are people there with some jewelry. A lot of new vendors who have never been there before, local.
Ooh, who's coming in that's new?
Well, there's some handmade, there's some beaded and charmed jewelry, and one that just got in touch with us a couple of days ago was she makes jewelry out of vintage metal buttons.
Really?
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Or as they say today, right? Buttons.
Buttons.
Buttons, yeah.
The old metal buttons, you can't find those anymore. No. Now I'm realizing I have a shirt on with metal buttons. But yeah. I can remember growing up having a whole basket full of buttons that my mom would have. Yep. She wouldn't throw anything away.
Well, that's I'm looking forward to seeing her. There's some bags and purses, some pillows. Let's see. Greenacre Graphics. She has sea glass, which she wraps up. It's beautiful jewelry. This is all, and another. She also has mandala ceramic tiles, And let's see. Woodcrafts. Mike's Cavisto has handmade wood stuff, and Jeff Bellinger has the chainsaw art. If you've not seen that, this guy is incredible.
Those are little statues and stuff made out of like a log or.
You take they're like a little bear or, and he makes them. I actually got one of these. He calls it a spirit birdhouse. It's he has a wood spirit. And he makes the wood spirits and a birdhouse and with a little house. Roof and everything. So he's going to be there. Somebody with barnwood signs.
Oh yeah, I do know it though. Those are cool.
Yes. Waxes, soaps, and oil, and all kind. There are and two authors. One has been there before. She is. Has children's books, and that is what's her name? Flitton Fairy Tales. Rhonda Boulay. She writes children's books, and she'll actually read and tell stories. She's from Blandford.
So most of these vendors and crafters, they're all from Greater Westfield and the hill towns.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, they are pretty much local.
Well, that's great.
Although we have the bread people. One of the bread ones comes from Sturbridge Fudge Company. Oh my God, this woman makes the most delicious fudge. You know how you have something you don't want to finish it because it's so good. You want to keep it. That's what this fudge is like.
No kidding.
Wow. Okay.
And her husband has the breads. He has artisan breads. Artisan. How do you pronounce it? Artisan breads. And
artesian is a well.
That's artesian well. Artisan breads. I'm sorry.
That's baked well.
Yeah. And another author has writes books for teenagers. So
it sounds like something
for everyone.
That's wonderful. Now, you don't do this alone. You have a crew that helps organize this and keep it in check, if you will. And are they all? They're all members of the church?
No, not all. And I would say that we would accept people. We would gladly accept volunteers from
Any
outside.
help from anywhere.
We really do need some volunteers. And Debbie Randio and I are the two co-market managers, and then we have a team of volunteers who help greet people when they come in the church. One of the reasons that people really like this market is because it's a friendly market, and we try and make people comfortable, and we've had a lot of compliments. So we have volunteers who help the vendors set up. Now, this doesn't happen at every farmer's market, especially in the summer when you've got a lot of heavy produce that are carrying in. And
that's a chore, bringing all the stuff in from the truck,
So we have people who help out to set them up, put their tents up, and then take down. Not everyone needs help, of course, but there are volunteers there to do that. We have a table with the SNAP, so people should know that we do process SNAP, and we give a $5 match, up to $5 match for SNAP benefits. So if you use your SNAP card at the market table, we will match up to $5. Plus, Pignaters is the only vendor this time who processes HIP. HIP benefits are a health incentive program.
Oh, okay.
It's actually people who get it know what it is, but it's essentially it's free food. So a small family of 2, 3, whatever gets $40 a month in HIP benefits, which they have to spend either at a farmer's market or a farm stand, I believe. Have to spend it on fresh produce.
Healthy food.
But that money is free money. They get X dollars of food, and their balance on their SNAP card does not go down.
Okay.
So then they can turn around and spend that same X dollars on other products by getting coins from us, taking them to the vendors, and the vendors will they'll purchase whatever, and then the vendors we reimburse the vendors. So,
you mentioned the volunteers earlier and the need for more, and I would agree. Every organization I've ever been with, we can always use an extra hand. So, how can if there's someone out there listening that wants to volunteer for the farmers market, either on the 9th or even in the upcoming summer plans, how can they find out more?
Well, actually, they could come to the market and speak to us on Saturday the 9th, or the phone number for any information on the market. It's a voicemail, but it's 562-5461, 562-5461, extension 101. Or email farmersmarket@atonementwestfield.net, which is a mouthful. The best thing, go on the website.
Go on the website, and there's a link there. Click on the link and go. All right. This is JPEG Luca. We're talking with Peter Langmore, who helps out with the farmers market here in town, that will be coming to the Church of the Atonement on Saturday, February 9th, the last of the winter markets. And they'll be talking more about the summer version of that same market. That one will just be outdoors starting in May. Lots more coming up, and we'll be back right after this.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
And this is JPEG Luca with JP's Talk About Town. We were just talking about all the summer events that happen around Westfield. There's some great stuff coming up, and we're not even going to wait for summer. Obviously, we have the Farmers Market on the 9th, and also on the 9th is our first ever silent disco here in town. That's going to be a benefit for the Amelia Park Children's Museum. Head out to the Amelia Park Children's Museum website to find out more. That's going to be happening the evening and actually afternoon too for families over at the Shortstop. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Does that mean you don't have to wear earplugs to silent disco?
Well, you don't have to wear earplugs, but you get earphones. So it's actually a room full of people with earphones, and you can go in and watch them dance and not have to be annoyed by the music. So it's actually quite interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also coming up a little bit further down the road, we have the end of March. We're looking at doing a radio play written by our own Michael Buster McMahon. That'll be here on campus, and the Westfield State University Jazz Band will be part of that. So we're going to record a live radio play. Figure out, but kind of a flashback to old time radio, and we'll be airing that here on one of my shows down the road. That's the end of March. More to come on that. And then looks like in April 12th, we have a Chicago tribute band coming in. That's going to be a benefit at the Westfield Technical Academy for the Westfield Police Auxiliary. These are the great guys that are out there on the streets when we do events around town outdoors, whether it's Pumpkin Fest or the music concerts or First Night or our birthday party and fireworks that we're going to have out in May. And speaking of May 18th, a Beach Boys tribute will be out behind South Middle School to ring in the start of summer and fireworks, and of course our birthday party. Happy birthday, Westfield. 350 years old we are. So in addition to the farmers market, Pete Langmore is also involved in our Scottish festival that started in Blandford, was here in Westfield for a time, and is now one of the biggest single-day festivals in the Northeast. I think, is it the biggest?
Yes, it is.
That's incredible.
It's
just grown year after year.
We are second only to Loon Mountain, which is actually a 3-day festival.
That's all weekend long. Yeah.
And it's the only Scottish festival in Massachusetts and the largest one in New England, other than Loon.
Now, for those that don't know how the Scottish Festival got started, that was back in Blandford, how many years ago? 26? 26 years ago.
26, and yes, I've been involved since the first
Since day one. They roped you in early.
Yeah, they did.
Well, what got your interest to that? Is it you have a Scottish...
what kind of English? More than English, but as I said earlier, that I like to volunteer, and at the time they were doing this to raise some money for the White Church up there, which now is owned by the Historical Society and now has some lovely concerts, which I think Mark Auerbach will cover at some point when he gets the schedule. And so the church was kind of falling down, and they needed some money to preserve it. So they said, well, we'll have this Scottish festival because Blandford was settled by Scots.
Mm-hmm.
And Blandford is called Glasgow Lands, which is why they called it Glasgow Lands. So the people involved were friends of mine, and so we all, everyone who was on the original committee kind of knew each other, and it was supposed to be a one-day event.
One day, one year, never happen again.
And so 26 years later,
we're still doing
it. But the money we raise goes to the nonprofits of here in Westfield. I think people may be familiar with Forum House.
Yeah.
And then River Valley Counseling in Holyoke. And those two organizations provide the volunteers for the pub and for the gate, and without them, we could not have this festival.
Now, this
period.
thing, how many people? Now, we take over Look Park.
We have, we're the biggest event they have there,
How many people, do we have any idea, total musicians and guests and attendees, and it's just, we fill the park.
Well, it's really difficult to get a count, and I'd say 5,000 to 6,000 or 7,000 people, depending on.
I would tend to agree with you. Yeah.
I mean, last year
they're not all there at the same time either. Some come early, so they don't spend the whole day or whole evening. But
last year we maxed out the parking in the park, pretty much. I mean, they were. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing at all.
And we're looking to increase our parking capabilities, maybe off-site. So.
Yeah, if necessary. But we have the same bands as last year. The Celtic rock bands, Almanac, Screaming Orphans, Tartan Terrors, and the ever-popular Enter the Haggis.
Enter the Haggis.
Who started with us here at Stanley Park.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. They know Northampton well because they play at the Iron Horse for the past few first nights up there.
4 shows they play.
Yeah.
I went to one of them. They're just incredible.
They get the crowd roaring.
They do.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Zoe Darrow was one of the first entertainers at the first.
Yeah, she was.
26 years ago. And she's going to be at the big broadcast, as we mentioned earlier this year, up at Chapin Auditorium. And Mark Auerbach is very involved in that. Brian Lapis is very involved in that. In fact, they will both be here on the air February 22nd. So if you'd like to learn more about that, the big broadcast, tune in here. It'll be in the 8 o'clock hour on Friday, February 22nd. So we coming up on our last break of the morning. This is Jay Pagluca with JP's Talk About Town. We appreciate you checking in with us this morning. So we'll be back right after this.
Shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. You step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places, but the horns, they blowing that sound. Way on down south, way on down south, London town. Check out Guitar George, he knows all the chords. But he's strictly rhythm, he doesn't want to make it cry or sing. If then an old guitar is all he can afford, he gets up under the lights, play his thing. And Harry doesn't mind if he doesn't make the scene. He's got a daytime job, he's doing alright. He can play the honky-tonk like anything, saving it up Friday night with the Sultans, with the Sultans of Swing. And a crowd of young boys, they're fooling around in the corner, drunk and dressed in their best brown baggies in their platform soles. They don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band. It ain't what they call rock and roll. And the Sultans, yeah, the Sultans that play Creole. Creole. And the man steps right up to the microphone and says at last, just as the time bell rings, good night, now it's time to go home. Then he makes it fast with one more thing. We are the Sultans, we are the Sultans of Swing.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by R. Levesque Associates. They are offering landscape architecture, civil engineering, environmental permitting, and land surveying. RLA is a second-generation company devoted to excellence in the planning and design of outdoor spaces. On the web at rlaland.com or at 40 School Street in Westfield.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
And this is JPEG Luca with JP's Talk About Town. We're here talking with Peter Langmore of the Glasgow Lands Scottish Festival, of the Winter Farmers Market, which will be February 9th at the Church of the Atonement on Court Street here in Westfield. Don't miss that. That's you want to buy some crafts and look for crafts and food.
10 to 3.
10 to 3. We hadn't mentioned what time.
No,
Thank you very much. Now, another thing that came up while we were off air was the Blandford Country Store. Now, they're going to be at the market, right?
They are, yes.
And that's how that came up, because the Blandford Market, or the Blandford Country Store, had recently changed hands. They've got some new owners up there.
Yes, and Jennifer Gerard owns the store, and they're doing a fantastic job. And she has... We had a vendor Sweet JJ's, who is normally our vendor, and they were traveling. So I called Jen, and she said, "Oh, I'd love to come to the market."
Oh, that's great. So
I asked her to bring some sandwiches and lunch, and so plus the baked goods. And I was just telling Jay that you can go and ask her for whatever anything you want, and she'll fix it up, bake it.
And it's just a 15 or 20 minute ride out of Westfield if you ever want to go out and visit.
Yep.
It's 98 Main Street in Blandford, but it's actually up what we call Route 23 from here. Those of us that don't know the names of the roads out in the hills, if you head out, take a left off Route 20. Go up Route 23 into downtown Blandford. It's right there on the right.
That is downtown Blandford.
That is downtown Blandford. Yeah, it kind of is, I guess.
That's it.
But it's a classic old country store. You go in there, and it's just, I love the.
You want to poke around
feel.
a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
You go in and you go, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that over there. Yeah, it's just when I'm in northern New England, I'll always stop if I see something like that. Now, how long has Jennifer been in there now?
She's just bought it recently.
Okay.
Within the last year and a half.
Oh, that's good.
But she does a lot of catering to when the Historical Society had the opera.
Yes.
The Blandford Opera, Bel Canto in actually it's the week before the Scottish Festival, actually July whatever, and she catered that.
July 20th for the record. Yes.
Is the Scottish Festival. Yes. Yeah. Well, the week before that is the opera, and actually not to be missed, but she's catered things like that. And, I had a meeting of the for high speed internet, which I'm also on that. I'm the Blandford Municipal Light Plant Manager, and she provided breakfast for a group of people who were at that meeting.
Is that something that she's doing out of the store? Is she's doing catering
out
and
of
stuff?
The store,
oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You mentioned the high-speed internet heading up into the hill towns, which is about time, because we.
I know.
and it ain't everywhere yet. Who are you working with?
Westfield Gas and Electric.
You are.
I absolutely love them.
Ah. Great. They're talking about bringing fiber that far out, right?
They're doing 20 towns. I think 22 towns.
And Blandford's one of them.
And yes, in the in the Berkshires.
What's the rollout time frame? Have you
for Blandford?
Yeah.
Probably early 2020.
That's not bad.
But Otis is already pretty much close to being lit up. I think some of it is.
I like that lit up, and it literally is. You're bringing light into somebody's home with
they're doing
fiber.
Otis and have done Otis.
Yeah.
No, I love working with them.
That's great. Yeah, they're good people. So we were happy as they built out Westfield, and they are still doing.
Some people up in Blandford and the hill towns still have dial-up. I know that's a very hard thing for.
No, I know, and that was part of what I remember way back in the day. The broadband initiative was supposed to help with.
Yeah.
And they got it as far as the government buildings or fire stations
that's
or things
correct.
like that, and that's
middle mile.
As far as it went, yeah,
the middle mile. Well, we're building off of that,
right?
So, I guess that was it. That it was in fits and starts and getting things rolling.
Yeah. It took a long time to get going, but now we're.
What is it? What's the commitment? The final commitments that the bigger organizations are waiting for now? Westfield, Whip City Fiber, as it were.
Whip City Fiber, yeah.
Now, they're actually going to be the supplier out there?
They'll be the ISP for many of the towns. I mean, people have a choice, but...
and they would be bringing fiber right to the house. I mean, they certainly...
the commitment is that the fiber has to... In order to get the state grant money, the fiber has to... we had to pass at least 96% of the houses.
Okay.
That doesn't mean 96% of the people are going to take the service.
What other choices other than dial-up are there up there? Is there?
Well, no. I have DSL. We have DSL.
Okay, DSL. Well, okay, it's close to dial-up. But anybody taking? I know there's satellite.
They have satellite dishes and Comcast.
Yeah, I wonder if that.
But we don't have cable.
Well, how can you have Comcast if you don't have cable?
We don't have Comcast.
Oh, you don't?
We don't. Some towns do.
Oh, some don't.
But you can choose Comcast.
Jay, pay attention, will you?
What? No, I don't know how to pay attention.
There is no cable in Blandford.
No,
a lot of the towns.
It's
not worth their while.
Yeah, it's too many miles for one house.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well.
So, that's the Westfield Farmers Market. You were talking about that? Jay is
every once in a while.
Just take over the show. Go through the vendor list. That'll bring us to the end of the show.
All right. Well, let me just say when it is. Okay, it's February 9th, Saturday, from 10 to 3 at the Church of the Atonement, 36 Court Street. If you want information, 562-5461, extension 101, or the website is westfieldfarmersmarket.net. We need volunteers. And so we're going to have up to 25 vendors on Saturday. Many more craft vendors than food this time, but as I mentioned, the Blandford Country Store, Pignateros will be there with vegetables. Mayval Farms has chocolate milk and skyr and cheese, and there's fresh bread and fudge, all kinds of things, as I went through before. What have I left off?
No, you've got everything there. Free parking behind the church.
Free parking behind the church. And
no charge to get in.
No charge. We have 5 rooms of vendors.
And once again, if you want to volunteer, you can find out more at the website, which is?
Website is westfieldfarmersmarket.net.
And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to volunteer for the 9th, but if you're interested in coming into the summer program, that all help can always
we really
be
could
used
use
there.
it. Yeah, and I say again that we have music provided with the help of a grant from the Westfield Cultural Council. We have 2 music groups, the Rustlers and Arua Bean, who does Irish music. That's Linda O'Neill and Tom. And I think that's covered.
Yeah, I love the music under the big tree out there. And of course, that won't be on Saturday, but the music will be downstairs on the little stage downstairs.
Yes, it will.
So that'll be great.
You will come on out for the day. It's worth it.
That's from 10 until 3. On Saturday, February 9th, the indoor winter market at the Church of the Atonement. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. I'm Jay Pagluca. That was Peter Langmore. Next up, on the other side of the hour, Mark Auerbach. He will be doing Artsbeat Radio. This is Jay Pagluca. Pete Coles, have a great weekend.
support for the community.